We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every single day.
We are News Generation. Bring news just for you. It's Wednesday, August 7th here in Seoul. I'm Song Mi-jin and you're watching News Generation. Today we're joined by Kwon Ju-yeon.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. And Choi Ji-hee.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. Now, as usual, we're going to start with our news feed, which covers different hashtags and news items that have been trending online. 100 housekeepers from the Philippines selected by the Seoul city government arrived in South Korea on Tuesday. After completing 4 weeks of training, they'll begin a 6-month pilot program starting September 3rd, providing childcare and household services. Over 400 households who have children aged 12 or younger or who are expecting a baby have applied for the program. The city government came up with this initiative to address the low birth rate, offering a cost-effective solution as the salaries for these housekeepers are lower than current public childcare and housekeeping services. Moving on, South Korea's enforcement decree of the Special Act on the End of Breeding, Slaughtering, and Distribution of Dogs for Food Purposes takes effect today. This means the Ministry of Agriculture, Food, and Rural Affairs will start offering support for dog breeding farms and restaurants that choose to close down. The support includes consulting, education, and loans for those looking to transition to a new business, as well as financial assistance for closing costs like demolition expenses. Currently, there are over 5,600 dog farms or dog meat restaurants in the country. There will be a 3-year grace period for those still operating dog meat facilities, and after this period, violators may face fines or even imprisonment. In sports news, South Korean badminton player An Se-young has captured the country's attention after clinching gold in the women's singles event at the Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Games on Monday. Her victory marks Korea's first gold in this event in 28 years. However, An has also made headlines for her remarks about feeling neglected by the Korea Badminton Association during her recovery from a knee injury last year. An made these statements during the medalist press conference. So here in the studio, let's discuss some of the key points that were made by the player at the conference.
Well, in Paris, the badminton player An Se-young expressed disappointment over the national team's lack of concern for her severe injury, which she sustained during the women's singles final at the Hangzhou Asian Games. Well, she described the tough time she had preparing for the Olympics and mentioned that it might be difficult to work with the national team in the future, and also raised other concerns in a post-match press conference, criticizing the team for their harsh treatment in excluding players from the Olympics for leaving the national team. And she said the Korea Badminton Association is limiting players' freedom and highlighted that Korea only won one gold medal in badminton, suggesting that the country could achieve better results. And before boarding her flight to Korea in Paris on the 6th of August, An Se-young said to reporters, "I'll talk about my situation in Korea. Please wait a little longer."
Right, so An seems to have plans to give like a full explanation about what she mentioned in the press conference. Now, Ji, I want to ask you, how has the Korea Badminton Association and the Korean government responded to An's comments?
Well, first of all, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism first stated that after winning her gold medal during the Olympics, An Se-young raised issues regarding the Badminton Association, regarding the injury management, as Ju-hyun mentioned, and player development and training methods. And the government body promised to review all other sports areas as well in order to improve the management of athletes. And on the other hand, the Badminton Association hasn't yet expressed an official statement regarding this controversy. However, it did express some regret in some of the media interviews it had.
Right, so we'll have to see further comments made by An and also the Badminton Association as well. And that was our news feed for this Wednesday. So we're now going to move on to our main discussion topic of the day. Today we're going to discuss and focus on the latest tech trends. Take a look at the screen to find out more. Last month, Samsung Electronics unveiled the latest additions to its Galaxy Z series, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 and Fold 6. These new models are lighter, thinner, and smarter. Since Samsung launched its first Galaxy Z series in 2019, the foldable phone craze has made a comeback, giving the Korean tech giant a boost in its ongoing competition with its longtime rival, Apple. Right, so the recent Galaxy Unpacked event that took place last month in Paris, France, seems to have reignited the age-old debate among the younger generation, that is Apple or Samsung's Galaxy. So I want to first ask our panelists, where do you stand on this question?
iPhone. Well, okay. But I've been using my iPhone phone for 1.5 years after using a Galaxy mobile for a long period of time. Initially, I found the iPhone's keyboard very awkward since I was used to the Galaxy's Chunjin keyboard, which I could type on without looking my mobile.
Oh, really? Impressive.
Yes, indeed. Well, the absence of a separate silent mode and Samsung Pay on the iPhone was inconvenient, but these issues have improved over time. I really appreciate the iPhone's stylish design and integration with my MacBook, my notebook, my laptop. However, I still use a Galaxy phone.
Oh, really?
Certain applications that are exclusive to it and for a different photography experience. So in the end, I guess I'm in a committed relationship with both companies. Just don't tell them, you know.
Although we're on air right now.
Yes, we are.
Right, so what about you, T?
Well, I've been a Galaxy user for as long as I can remember.
Oh.
The only time I used an iPhone was when they first launched their 3S version back in 2010. Although the phone came out a little before that, that's when I used it for a couple of months because someone just gave it to me. They said they're going to change their phone and they were looking for someone who would use their old phone. Anyhow, I am a big fan of products made in Korea, including phones, and I've been using LG phones. They don't have LG phones anymore.
Right.
So Galaxy phones ever since for about 10 years now. And as a freelance journalist and an interpreter, there are times when I have to work on documents outside without a laptop or a tablet PC. So I have to look at my phone to work on them, edit them and read them. And I think the Galaxy interface, the Android system, is a lot more convenient when I have to work on these documents compared to an iOS. So I like them a lot more. And I also like the phones, the cameras of Galaxy phones as well. They're very vivid and clear, and they have their own sort of image and the 감성 we say in Korean, like the emotional kind of touch to it. Yeah.
Right, so I think that we have a balanced debate right now, iPhone and then Galaxy. And now to find out even more, we also asked our viewers which brand of smartphone they use and why. And here's what 3 of them said. If we look at the comments, Leon says, I am using a Samsung Galaxy phone as I prefer using the Android system, and I find that Samsung Galaxy devices provide better value for money in terms of features and specifications compared to Apple iPhones. Sunny says, I'm currently using an iPhone. I use an iOS and Mac OS device, and I'm already so familiar with the system. Also, using devices with the same operating system is really convenient, so I want to try using a Galaxy phone because of its new attractive functions, but this convenience makes it difficult. User QD5PR9OS9I says, I am a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip user. The idea and technology of a foldable smartphone is really great, and it comes with various colors like mint and lavender, which I like. Also, I can pay anywhere in Korea with Samsung Pay, so with this phone, I don't have to carry my wallet around. So we're gonna keep on focusing our big debate question for today, which is Apple versus Galaxy. Now, this debate has especially gained traction in Korea recently because of the strong images each brand holds. So could you please tell us more about the images that each brand has?
Of course. Well, among Korean MZers, a younger generation, the iPhone is still seen as sleek but pricey, while the Galaxy is considered practical but less stylish. On one internet platform, people often stereotype men who use iPhones as sophisticated and women who use Galaxies as practical. Because of these perceptions, the type of phone celebrity users can become a hot topic here. For example, middle-aged actresses like Hwang Shin-hye and Ko Yeon-jung using iPhone have drawn attention here in Korea, breaking the stereotype that older people use Galaxies with the wallet folder case. And Blackpink's Jennie sparked controversy by using an iPhone in her personal life, even though she's a model of Galaxy of Samsung. And the story of Samsung's chairman Lee Jae-yong's daughter switching from an iPhone to a Galaxy Flip made headlines as well. And there's even a well-known story about Lee Jae-yong giving a Galaxy phone to a journalist who was using an iPhone.
Right, so a lot of interesting stories, behind-the-scenes stories regarding the iPhone and Galaxy debate. And as Gia mentioned, these images seem to be heavily influenced by the media, for instance, who tend to use the phone. So, Ji, do you also agree? And are there any other examples that you would like to give?
Well, it's definitely true that media representations as well as marketing efforts create these images regarding the use of iPhones or Galaxy phones. And building on what Shuhyun has mentioned earlier, iPhone users are often portrayed as being very fashion conscious and creative, whereas on the other hand, Galaxy users are often portrayed as being very tech savvy, practical, as she said, and very budget conscious as well, because relatively, although they have become a lot more expensive compared to the past, relatively, they're a little more cheaper,
Right.
a little cheaper. And also, the Galaxy models, they tend to appeal to a wider demographic as well. And also, because of the specifications and the customization provided by Galaxy phones, people who use Galaxy phones value performance and control as well. And this can be further shaped by regional differences and the professions as well, different professions. And famous figures who use iPhones include Oprah Winfrey, Kylie Jenner, and Tom Holland. But this is interesting. Some famous figures who use the Galaxy phone include Bill Gates.
Oh, really?
Mark
Wow.
Zuckerberg, yes, and Martha Stewart. And these people use Galaxy phones because they value practicality, like I mentioned earlier, unique features, and the productivity, customization, and sometimes because they have the brand partnership with Galaxy as well. And there's a saying in Korea, this may sound sexist, but it's a saying that goes around online as well. And they say men should marry women who use Galaxy phones because they have that image of being very practical, budget conscious, etc. Yeah.
I see. So all the examples that you guys mentioned, they're basically based on perception and images that each phone or each brand has. So I want to ask you, Ji, do we have any like concrete actual data on which brand of a smartphone that the younger generation actually prefers more?
Well, the MZers, the Generation Z or Gen Zs in particular, as well as women, tend to prefer using iPhones a lot more here in the country. And according to a Gallup survey, only 34% of people in their 20s are Galaxy users, and 25% of these users are women.
I see. But the main reason why we brought up this topic today is because the new Galaxy Z6 series that was unveiled just last month at the Unpacked event in Paris seems to have shattered the kind of old, unstylish image that Galaxy smartphones used to have before.
Definitely, they're very stylish, and these new Z6 series, they recorded an impressive early sales volume of 910,000 units. And that's a lot more compared to the 43% they showed last year with the Z5 series. And analysts attribute this to the more stylish design and the improved camera function, as well as the overall design. And they provide a lot more colors, color variation with these 6 series. And MZers, they value the look or the design of their phone as well as the camera function as well. And the incorporation of the new AI technology is also one competitive edge that the Galaxy is proud of, because they enable real-time interpretation. If you've seen the new advertisement, they show this function, and they also have the auto-replying function as well. And Samsung has been running a lot of marketing campaigns to capture the attention of the younger generation, including the Olympics.
Right.
They even have an event where athletes on the podium would take selfies with these new phones to really expose the product a lot more to the general public.
Right, so a lot of innovative new features that are a part of these new Galaxy models, as well as Samsung's marketing strategies targeting the younger generation, seems to have triggered this new Galaxy boom among the younger generation. Now, for more insights, we're going to invite a marketing expert to our talks right after this break. We're back. Today we're joined by Pohim Tam, CEO of the Cool Startup Marketing Agency. Welcome, Pohim, to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning. So our first question for you, Pohim, today is, we briefly mentioned this in our discussion earlier, but why do you think the Galaxy Z6 series is especially popular among the younger generation compared to previous models?
I think previously you mentioned all the points that I wanted to mention as well, such as a stylish design, a longer battery life. Basically, they improved on everything that the users wanted from the previous model. And on top of that, for this newer model, the main camera that acts as a selfie camera is perfect for the younger generation that wants to create content, high quality content like for Instagram or TikTok. And all the AI features that they are heavily promoting are also things that I think the younger generation can relate to.
I see. Well, Pohim, do you think the popularity of the Galaxy Z or Z at 6 series is due to Samsung's targeted marketing strategy for younger people?
Yeah, as a marketer myself, I think they are doing a great job right now. Like, for example, on YouTube, the video about introducing the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6 has 30 million views. And on Instagram, they are doing a great job as well. 2 of the videos promoting the selfie camera and the AI feature has 45 million views and 87 million views. So I think they are spending their ad money where the audience is. And I think, yeah, they're doing a great job, even at the Olympics.
I see. Well then, Pohim, how do you see the competition between Galaxy and iPhone evolving?
I think moving forward, the battle will be focused on more AI integration, because both Samsung and Apple are heavily promoting the AI features right now, like Apple with the Apple Intelligence and Samsung with the Galaxy AI. And I think we're getting closer and closer to having our own digital personal assistant right in our pockets. And I can imagine like asking your phone to manage your schedule, read your emails, answer everything, and basically handle all the digital tasks for you. So like a mini Jarvis in your pocket, and that's going to be incredible.
Right. So excited to see what new changes we'll see in the smartphone market. All right, Pohim, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Right, so as Pohim mentioned, tech giants like Samsung and Apple are constantly competing by releasing new models every year. We know that the latest iPhone model will be released next month as well. And for instance, foreign media outlets are also reporting that Apple, again, might launch its first foldable phone model in 2026, which could spark a new competition between Samsung Electronics and Apple again. Now, ending off, as consumers, are there any new improvements or features that you'd like to see in future smartphones?
Well, first of all, I'm going to buy the new Apple's foldable phone if it's going to launch soon. I would like smartphones to have more advanced virtual assistance capabilities, similar to ChatGPT.
Like Pohim mentioned.
That's right. So they can help with more complex tasks and conversations with us. And it would be great if they could anticipate out our needs better and provide more personalized assistance. Additionally, making smartphones even more portable, perhaps by making them, even lighter,
smaller.
I know, smaller would be a huge benefit for all of us. And if they could give some, a heads up when we are about to run out of milk, that would be the cherry on top for all of us, I guess.
So smartphones could become more smarter for the convenience of users. Now, Jihi, what do you expect or want from future smartphone models?
Well, as someone who's very butterfingered, I drop things often and I'm very forgetful as well. I'd like to see ultra durable phones.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, with harder exteriors as well, like drop-proof exteriors. Yes, and also it should be able to withstand the most dramatic fumbles because I always drop my phone.
Same here.
Yeah, for us, please. And also, I'd like to see some self-screen cleaning.
Oh, interesting.
My screen always gets dirty. And also, it'll be really helpful if there's a way of finding my phone easily by just clapping or shouting out because I always place my phone and forget where I placed it. So I always have to call Bixby, the Siri of iPhone, asking it to...
Where are you?
Yeah, I always say like, hello, hi Bixby, where are you? And the phone will say, oh, I'm here. Anyway, a better function for that, and maybe like a more proactive to-do list and a reminder that would constantly nag me to do the things that I have to do for the day.
Wow, the list just goes on and on and on. So I think that smartphone companies will have a lot to do, a lot of work to do in the future. Now, that's all from us today, but NewsGen will be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Korea time, bring you more topics young people are talking about. Special thanks today to Kwon Ji-yeon
Thank you for having me.
and Chae-ji.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. We are News Generation.